Testing the mic. Testing, testing. You got a glimpse of our video setup. But I want to test to make sure that the mic is, that we can be heard over the background. Beth, can you verify somehow how good it sounds? That's a yes. Okay. Background is currently a bit distracting. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. Well, I don't want noise. That's for sure. Let me see if I can beat that down. Let's kill the current track, which is testing chamber. On tabletop audio. Turn up the voice a bit, she says. Okay. Can do. Can do. Let me modify the gain dial on the microphone. Okay, what about now? I've turned the gain dial up. This is going to be my normal talking voice. Oh, music stuff. Okay. What about now? What do we got? Anything good? Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, come on up. Anchorwind is on the scene. He says he misses having a good tabletop group. Well, I'll tell you what, I do too. Since I moved out of Amherst, I have not had a very good tabletop group. But yesterday, we had two of our old Amherst friends visit, and we played a nice game of Arkham Horror, which I was not able to stream. You gotta understand that my current video system right now is really messy, so this isn't gonna be a great stream once I actually turn on the mic, or the videos, the cameras. But it's the best that we can do. The term is indeed janky.
Okay. So where do I sit?
I think you'll be sitting here. So I have us situated so we'll be facing the board.
Okay.
I think I have you a little bit louder or closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Cool indeed.
That's just like just doing board games, my friend tells me.
Okay. That's
so
correct.
Let's go on screen.
I have a better question. How can I make it so that
Is anyone watching me?
is
That's my main question.
well, the camera's off right now.
Okay. Where's my... Okay. I'm recovering from a cold, so I am trying to find my chapstick right now.
Is there a way to stop this thing from locking? Sorry, I'm using an iPad for the messaging system.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make it so that this thing won't Auto lock.
Oh. Mm.
Auto lock 15 minutes. Huh? No.
There you
I
go.
just don't want the screen to go black.
Display. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. I just wanted to have Twitch up so that I could, respond to all my.
Where do you say
fans.
display?
Right underneath that. I mean, was it taking 15 minutes to turn on?
No. Just a couple minutes to go black. It's not really a lock, is it?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to set it to network, see what it does.
You search the settings?
Yeah.
Can you do that on Android?
I'm sure you can.
Into the settings to not be able to do that? No. That's quite interesting.
Wait, what does this say?
Control center.
Box.
It's the just like a full volume thing. Yeah.
Oh, no. What about battery?
Uh-huh.
Nope.
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 Alright, well, don't know.
Your iPhone.
That's your phone. Discord.
Message on Discord.
I guess so. Alright, well. Let me see here.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I'll try to keep on top of the messages. So,
Just tap the screen for that.
I guess the important question is, can people hear me? I think so. I mean, Beth said she could hear me from the room.
Yeah.
We might be ready to go. We might be able to take off the away screen and then just get into this.
Cool. Is that working? It's really good. Nice. Alright. You'll have to explain the rules again to me.
That's cool.
I don't think we've ever played this.
The particular board that I'm using, you mean?
I think.
You've never played Power Grid?
I don't think so.
No kidding. I almost closed the screen. Some kind of genius.
That's nice.
Yeah. I got your message, Beth.
Hooray.
So if you're, are you on stream, right? Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see the messages. You'll only be able to see the Twitch messages, of course.
Yeah.
I'll be able to see the YouTube and Steam messages, if such things exist.
I don't really care about those. It's more like, it's just nice to have place to type stuff.
Sure.
So.
Well, ready to start setting up?
Yeah.
Like, it's mostly set up, but you know.
Okay.
Alright, let's use my fancy new hotkey. And there we are.
Cool.
So, game should be visible now. Hopefully the stream settings are okay. You can see and hear us properly. So, we've got a camera pointing towards the board.
There?
Yeah, so I'm here.
Yeah.
Beth is to my left, so she's going to be nearly invisible unless she's reaching the board, which she will be, but you shouldn't be able to see our faces and shoulders getting in the way. And I have a special camera fixed over the power plant market, which doesn't change much, so never mind that low frame rate.
Cool.
Coffee's dead center. So we're going to be playing Power Grid, which is an excellent board game, especially for those of you who like board games, by Friedman Freyse, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a German guy, it doesn't matter. So the point of the game is that each of us represents a power company, and we have to build power plants and provide power to cities, and get paid for providing power, and that payment that we receive helps us expand our grid. And so you haven't played this before.
Nope.
Well, that's great, because if I can explain the rules, that means that anybody watching who doesn't know the rules will now know them too.
Great.
So it's going to be difficult to really see what's going on in all the cameras that we've provided, but the colorized regions are just different continents. The only significance is that, depending on the number of players, we will only use a few of these. So we get to choose 3. I picked the world board. So, as another backup, this is not an official map. This is a map that I made because I was inspired by a game of Risk. So this is our ability to play it across the entire world. And I thought that this would be an appropriate map to use for New Year's because the entire world celebrates it. Although, ironically, we're only going to be using half the world because we have to only use 3 out of these 6 regions in play. So, yeah, we build power plants, which are up here.
Yep.
We buy fuel for the power plants. We spend our money to establish footholds in the different cities on the board. And we get paid based on the number of cities that we power.
Okay.
And the payment increases with the number of cities that we power at a kind of a diminishing returns rate. And you have a card. We each have a representative card here that we can use. So at the end of a turn, you power N cities and get paid D dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
Dollar unit is called Electro, so don't worry if I call it Electro.
Okay.
So you'll notice that even if you power 0 cities, you still get $10.
Sweet.
But if you're in a position where you're going to power 0 cities, you're probably in a lot of trouble anyway. But the way to win the game is not to have the most cities and not to have the most money, but to simply power the most cities at the final turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, having more money and having more cities will help you with that. You can't power more cities than you own, so owning more will certainly help you off. But that is the goal of the game. Power the most cities at the very final turn. So, the first thing that we're going to need to do is, I'm going to establish you as banker, Beth, because I'm going to be running the rest of the game. So all you need to worry about is paying us at the end of the turn and making change and stuff like that.
Okay.
Can you give us each $50 to start?
I'm assuming you don't want to just a straight 50.
Yeah, don't do a straight 50, because we're going to be breaking that immediately. And I have 4 10s, a 5 and 4 1s.
Alright.
That would
you mean
probably
5 ones?
I'm sorry, yeah, 5 1s.
I mean, unless you want it to be shorter than $1.
That's cool. No thanks, not this time.
you put me in the spirit.
Here's my money. Now, money is secret between players because it is integral, because there is an auctioning mechanic. So, try not
That's gonna
to...
work with 2 people then.
We outbid each other.
Okay.
Yeah. This game is more interesting with more players.
Mm.
But it's still good with 2.
Excuse me.
So, now let's pick a color. All those colors are identical for player pieces. You got,
Okay.
I think you got 7 to choose from.
I'll go with 3.
Yep.
What color do you want?
I don't know. How about...
Green?
Why don't you give me green? Sure.
Okay.
I'll take green.
I didn't know if it was set to the side for a reason.
No, I was just separating that.
Okay.
Please give me 2 of your houses.
What?
They're going to be used as indicators, little markers.
Are you stealing my real estate?
Great. At the beginning of the game, we own 0 cities, so I'm going to put our little indicators up. The 0 spot doesn't exist, but these are the number of cities a given player owns. That makes it much easier to know who has how many.
Okay.
I'm going to randomly shuffle our pieces and throw them. Okay. So you're leftmost. I'll put you at the number 1 spot. I'll put me at the number 2 spot. So this track up here is player order, essentially.
Okay.
If you're closer to 1, that means you're doing the best.
Mm.
And the game, in this case, gives a bigger bonus to players who are farther down the line.
Okay.
So, you remain in first place by continuously having the largest number of cities and then the best power plants.
Okay.
But doing so gives all the other players minor benefits that can add up. So, staying in the lead the entire time may not necessarily be useful. So this game has a very good catch-up mechanic to help out players who might not be doing great for the entire game. They still have a fighting chance. So the next thing we're going to do is pick our 3 regions. So since I tossed you into spot 1,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to have the biggest disadvantages for the first turn, although it's minor. So why don't you be the first to pick which continents that we're going to use, what continent we're going to use in this game.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. Let's do Europe.
Europe, okay. So let's pick... Europe is one of them. Now, I'm next in line, so I get to pick a continent but it has to connect to Europe somehow. So, since we're in North America, I'm going to pick North America.
Okay.
Okay, but we need a third region. So why don't you pick a third one, but it's got to connect to either of these guys. So it can be any of them except Oceania.
Okay. Asia.
Want to do Asia? So we're going to be doing...
Both, right?
What's that?
Asia connects to both.
It doesn't have to connect to both. It just needs to connect to one. But it
Yeah.
does connect to both. So we're going to be using the northernmost.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most number of viewers are going to be in these 3 continents. Though it's quite questionable. Possibly Brazil with that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cover up cities that we won't have access to if we're not using those regions this game. Which means you'll notice all the purple cities are corresponding with Africa. So I'll just cover those up to say, as a little reminder, no, you can't go there.
Okay.
And here we go. So the way that the game normally goes is that we've got this market full of resources that depletes as we purchase the resources. We physically take them off the tracks.
Okay.
And it gets refilled at a certain standardized rate per resource. What makes my map unique, based on every other officially published map, is that the restocking... these cards exist here to just remind me how to do that.
Okay.
So, at the start of the game, and this is the only time we'll ever reference that, I have to put a certain number of these 4 fuel types on the track. So, for a 2-player game,
yep.
we'll only be paying attention to the 2-player block.
Okay.
At the start, only be paying attention to that start column. All I have to do is add up those numbers for each of those 4 rows. So what does the brown add up to? 9 plus 17 is 26, plus 14 is 40? 26 plus 14 is 40.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So I have to put out 40 of these brown units, because brown is coal. So I got to fill up this track. There's not even 40 of them, so I gotta max it out.
Okay.
So that's simple enough. It's got to be a better way. Can you maybe separate the brown out, and then I'll do the rest of them. So black is oil. So we have to use 12 plus 7 is 19 plus 10 is 29. Again, I'm going to fill out the entire oil track. So we're going to use every unit of oil and every unit of coal in the game. Great. Oh, perfect.
It's easy to take them out of there.
I love it.
Especially because they're all shaped differently, which is nice.
That is a very good choice by the designers. I would have been cheap and just made them all the same exact shape.
Yeah, but then you have to worry about colors.
Yeah, color blindness.
Distinct enough.
I think these 4, with the exception of maybe brown and red, I think colorblind people would be okay.
Yeah, brown and red might be
well, the one issue is that the black barrels tend to roll around a lot, so that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. I would ask you to set these up, but
well, you're sitting
tell you what, you start stocking maybe that side, and I'll do this side. Okay. Next is yellow. Yellow is garbage. So
Just
we'll
throw
have
it out in the
just throw it in the sea. So we have garbage incineration plants for yellow. So we're going to need 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 of those.
Okay.
Great. That's 5. You got 5?
I think so. I didn't really count. I just kind of what seemed like half to.
That looks like 10 to me. And finally, red is uranium for the nuclear plants. We're going to need 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So the different continents provide different restocking and starting rates for the resources based on how much they produce in real life. And as I recall, North America dominates for nuclear production, especially because of Canada. So we have amongst the highest starting rates for nuclear materials, although I'm looking around and it really would have made much of a difference with any other combination. Oh well. Okay, so here's our stock. The little numbers in the corner is how much it costs per unit to purchase. So that means at the start of the game, coal... Oh, I'm sorry, I put these on the wrong side. They gotta go expensive to cheap. So there's 5, and these slide down here.
Oh.
That makes a lot more sense. It's been a while since I've played this. It's been many years since I played this game.
Oh.
I'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we will be purchasing from cheap to expensive.
Okay.
So all units of coal and oil at the start of the game, at least 3 of them, cost $1 each.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say dollar and electro interchangeably. Our first unit of garbage is going to cost 5.
Okay.
Our first unit of uranium is going to cost 8. So garbage is not super viable at the start of the game. Uranium is extremely unviable at the start of the game.
Okay.
So, similar to Arkham Horror, a given turn has 5 phases, but they're extremely quick to move through.
Okay.
So I'll just tell you what they are right now, and you don't have to remember them.
Mm-hmm.
So phase 1 is I simply rearrange the player track based on who has the most cities. If you got the most, you shoot to first place, and like I said, that gives you the biggest disadvantages for all the other phases for doing things. But not by a huge amount. It's more like a tiebreaker. Then phase 2 is we auction power plants. So you'll notice that we've got the 8 plants up in our power plant market. The way the game is designed is that those are the lowest numbers, which means that they're the weakest plants in the game. It's the equivalent of us starting with like really primitive power technology. And as we get through the deck, we'll get better and better numbers. They're all unique up through about 60. So everything we draw off that deck is going to be higher, but it's going to be random off the deck. But the way that it works is that we only have access to the 4 lowest numbered plants. You can think of the higher ones as being future plants, just outside of our, like, in development. Okay. So right now, we only have access to 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are the 4 weakest in the entire game. At each time one is purchased by either of us, or removed from the market due to some other circumstance, we immediately replace the empty spot with a new random plant, and then rearrange it in ascending order. So if the next one off the deck is 20, then if you buy plant 2, and the next one off the deck is 20, that means I'll have access to 1, 3, 4, and 5 will have moved down, and 20 will be in this space. So I can't get the 20, not for a while. But just keep in mind that one of us is going to have access to plant number 5 straight away. Phase 3 is we buy resources. This goes in reverse player order, so whoever is farthest behind gets to purchase first. That way, if we both want to buy coal, and I'm in second place, I'll have a slightly cheaper access to them. If there are very few resources left, then me going first could prevent you entirely from buying that resource this turn. So that can get important, especially right now with nuclear, but like I said, we're not going to want that. Phase 4 is build cities. You can add a brand new city to your network by putting a house on it. Mm-hmm. It costs money to establish yourself in a city, and you can only kind of get adjacent cities. Technically, you can buy any city from any other one, but you have to pay the money equal to all these intermediary connection costs. Mm-hmm. So you'll be spending money to improve your grid. And finally, phase 5 is where you actually power your cities. You run as many of your power plants at once as you like, and each one has the capacity to power some number of cities, if you choose to run it. So these ones can power at most 1 city, these ones can power at most 2 cities. And you get then paid by the number of cities you power. You can't power more cities than you own, so if you own 2 and you run both of these plants, you'll get paid for 2. You count as only powering 2 cities, you get paid for 2 of them. And you'll get paid based on this schedule is what it's called, I think. Mm-hmm. Then goes to the next phase. So that sounds simple enough, but there are, of course, a couple of caveats to this. There are 3 major paradigms in the game, and that's only represented by what you can buy in a city. So when I said phase 4 is when you can add cities to your network, you always pay $10 for the city. Mm-hmm. Based on this 10 spot, you put your little guy down there. You can't have more than 1 house in a given city, because you either own it or you don't. Yeah. But at the start of the game, we only have access to the 10 space. So if I bought this, you can't get New York. Mm-hmm. So we'll just... Essentially, only 1 person can be in each of these cities at the very start of the game. Mm-hmm. When we get to step 2 out of 3 of the game, that means we can start accessing 2 spaces in the cities. So we can both co-own a city. Mm-hmm. So step 2 occurs when... at the end of a turn where one of us has gotten at least 9 cities. That's why I've got this marker here. Okay. So once one of us hits the 9 spot, we can start doubling up on cities. So you and I can each own one. Remember, you can't multiply own a single city. Step 3 would allow a third player in, but there isn't a third player, so we're not even going to worry about the 20 space. It's irrelevant in this game. But step 3 does have a mechanical relevancy in this game. Step 3 is triggered by a single card at the bottom of this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Once this gets drawn, at the end of that phase, it becomes step 3. Step 3 transforms the game rules very slightly. And by that I mean the market changes. We now can access all of the plants that are there. Additionally, at the end of every turn, I'll take the highest plant that's remaining in the market and shove it under the deck. So after we draw step 3, you know the only plants that are coming out are going to be the very good ones. So step 3 is like end game.
Okay.
Also, every time there's a step change from step 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, I will destroy the lowest plant in the market because chances are we're not going to care about it. And another tiny rule that's easy to miss is that once one of us builds cities equal to n, I destroy the number n plant. So if nobody's purchased plant 1 and one of us buys 1 city, then we're like, okay, the plant's probably crappy, we'll just throw it away. So this really only occurs at the beginning of the game, and if we miss that rule, it's not a huge deal. But that's the story. So that's almost all of the rules. The fun in this is going to be seeing how they play out and how we interact with each other. But the first thing I want to do is make sure that I understand how much we restock each turn. Because like I said, at the end of the turn, when we get paid, right after we get paid, I actually restock the market a certain set amount per resource. So I'm going to just use these cards right now to figure out what that's going to be. So what I'll do is that I'll assume that I restock 1 of every unit. Since we're 2 players, for step 1 we'll say +1 for coal, +1 for coal, +1 for coal. That means at the end of every turn I'm going to add 4 coal back into this market. +1 for oil, +0 for oil, +1 for oil. We're going to get 3 oil back every turn. Only 1 garbage, and only 1 uranium. So at the end of every turn for step 1, it's going to be 4 coal, 2 oil, 1 garbage, 1 uranium. And we'll see that it changes ever so slightly between the steps, so the adjustment amounts will change. But it looks to me like garbage and uranium... no, they will. They will change a little bit. Okay, so that's where we're at with that. So now, what we need to do is buy our first plants. At the very start of the game, this is the only time you are required to buy a plant. And at the very start of the game is the only time we're going to reshuffle our houses right after we buy our plants. So this initial plant that we buy is going to determine player order for the rest of this turn.
Okay.
Unlike future turns, where it's going to be determined by how many cities we own.
Sure.
So let's start with an auction. So you are first player, and it goes in increasing player order. You get to pick one of those 4 plants for auction. So what you just do is say that you want to... Let me tell you about the plants first, before you go buy them. Each plant will show one of the 4 resources, provided I can pick it up. How many units it takes to power it, and how many cities it will power when you run it. You can't run double, you can't do half and half. It's just like, if you throw away exactly these 2, you power exactly 1 city. So you either run this thing or you don't at a given turn. So this one takes oil to run. That one takes 3 coal to run. 2 oil, 1 coal. This symbol means either or. So 1 of either of those units. And that means that plant 5 requires 3 of any combination of those 2 units. And then 6 is, of course, garbage, and then 8 is uranium, so on and so on. So 1 is the shittiest plant in the entire deck by a decent margin. However, if you actually get plant 1, that will put you in second place because you'll have the crappier plant. So you'll push me into first place, which means you'll get the preferential buying for cities and resources. So just keep in mind that you want a higher plant because it's better, but in this very first turn, you want a lower plant because that gives you gives you first pick of where to start your network. So
okay.
if you want a recommendation for your first plant to auction, I don't think 2 is a very good one. It's going to cost you 2 oil, and we do restock 3 oil every turn, but that means that if I'm buying 1 oil and you're buying 2 every turn, it's going to hover around the same cost. If I'm buying more than that, if we both buy more than the 3, it's going to start getting expensive, and eventually there won't be any.
Yeah.
But that could be my problem, too, if I need to buy oil.
What
So,
about 4?
4 is a great one. 4 is a great one because once we run out of oil, you just switch over to the coal.
Yeah.
Coal, 4's only limitation is that it only powers 1 city. So once you pick that, if you pick that up, and I grab 5, I have to buy more resources, but I can power 2 cities. And you'll see that the difference between 1 and 2 cities is $11. So that will be an advantage for me. So the way that we'd start the auction is that you would name a plant by number, and then that would be its opening bid, is the number that it is in dollars, and then I would decide if I want to just let you have it, or if I want to raise.
Okay.
If you wind up having it, then I essentially can buy 1 unopposed, because we can only buy it at most once.
Okay.
At 1. If I wind up buying it, then you can buy 1 unopposed of the remainder.
Okay. I guess I'll go with 4.
You want 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to move this so that everybody can see it. 4 is now up for bid. I like 4. Here's my thought. If I let her have 4, I can go ahead and buy 5, and I'll have a more powerful plant. Although I will be in first place and give me disadvantages. The opposite will happen if I take 4. So I'll just let you have 4. So for $4, you get plant 4.
Ooh.
We may only own 3 plants at a time.
Oh.
That usually won't be an issue because you'll wind up just replacing your crappier ones for the most part.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, so when it comes time to buying resources, I'll tell you about how much you can buy and what. There's just a minor limitation to that. Okay, so immediately I have to replace the plant with a new one, and what we have is number 52, which this icon indicates that it is one of the very strongest plants in the entire game. That's a superpower one. So I will rearrange this. 52 is now here. Yeah, so you can power 8 cities at the cost of 3 garbage. Provided the garbage is available, that's a great plant to have.
Yeah.
That could be a game winner, but we're not going to see it again for a long time. So now I get to put one up for auction, and since Beth has already bought her plant, I'm unopposed, so I will be getting mine for free. Well, not for free, but unopposed. So I would have to buy one of these 3 if I wanted to stay in second place and get buying advantage. I would take this one if I want to get more money straight away. It's a tough call, but I think what I'm going to do is buy 5. It's been so long that I don't remember which cities are great to start in, so I don't mind not having that advantage straight away. So here, I'll just take this 5. Okay, so we each have our opening plant. For the first and only time in the game, I'm going to rearrange our houses after we buy our plants. So we have the same number of cities, 0, so we tie. Tiebreaker is the most powerful plant we own, and I have 5, which is the better one, which pushes me in the first place. So Beth will get all the buying advantages.
Cool.
Oh, I have to put out a new plant, don't I? Plant number 34. That's coming out on the webcam. Yep, okay. So, phase 3 is by resources, and this goes in reverse player order. So, Beth, you may purchase first.
Okay.
You can only buy what you can store, and you can only store what your plant can run.
Okay, so I can buy
up to double what it can run. So you can buy, this can hold up to 2 units of any combination of coal and oil. So...
Okay. How much do things cost?
You're going to be buying cheap to expensive, so currently each unit costs 1.
Okay. Can I just buy 1 of each then?
If you wanted, sure. That'd be $2.
Great.
There you go. Ooh.
Sweet.
So if you're set, I'm going to buy... I have to buy at least 3 to power my plant. I could buy 6. Doing so will start raising the prices and ever so slightly gouge my opposition, but I'm not in that position right now to really super worry about it. So I'm just going to buy these 3 units for the $3 that they cost. You know what? I'll snatch that 4th one for a single dollar.
Okay.
Okay. Phase 4 is by cities. This again goes in reverse player order. Since Beth has the worst plant, she gets to place first. So you can put your first... This is the only time you have to buy a city, because you need to start your network.
Yeah.
But your first one could be anywhere. So let me just tell you about what that is. It's going to cost 10 per city you purchase, obviously. So starting at any of these is exactly the same. But let's say, for example... Can I see that? Say, for example, you purchase Calcutta.
Okay.
Any subsequent cities that you buy have to be with respect to one of the other ones you bought. So that means that you could say, oh, I also want to buy Delhi. And that would be $13, because it would take 3 for this connection, and then 10 for this. And, let me just see another city to put that down. Then, you could say, oh, well, I also want Mumbai. That would be another 13, because it's 3 plus 10.
Yeah.
Technically, you can do
Is it
14
always
if
the
you want.
minimum?
No, you can make it more than that, but there's really no reason to do so. Or you could do Shanghai for 10 plus 11. You could technically buy anything. You could buy Madrid if you wanted to pay, 15 plus 11 plus 2 plus 3.
Some extras on what I'm looking here.
Yeah, so you can pay more if you want to buy things that aren't immediately adjacent to you, but there can be an advantage to that to make it harder for other players to get to things. Or if there's like a really nice spot that you want to get your hands on to just kind of screw over other players, you could technically buy anything.
So I could buy something that's not connected to other things. That was that.
That's right. As long as you can get there contiguously, which for all 21 of these cities is possible.
But I don't have to point down houses in between?
You don't have to buy in between.
Okay.
The one caveat is that the connections that you paid are not remembered, so if, for example, you paid 14 and then 3 and then 10 to get St. Petersburg, then the next time, if you want Moscow, you have to pay this 3 again.
Okay.
But I rarely see players do the leapfrog, but sometimes it's worth it.
Okay. Someone's trying to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
What do you...
There's probably, I don't know if there's like a Twitch thing to do that.
Cheer 1000. Oh, yeah. If that's a macro, I don't know how to activate macros, unfortunately. How do I get back to the message? Okay, let me press it. What have I done?
Oh well.
Ah, there we go. You know what I'm gonna do, right?
No, I don't. Oh, now I do.
Is it anchor wind?
Yeah.
No symbols?
I don't think so.
This is really.
I have my phone set to it, but it hasn't run.
Oh, I can't do it because I didn't run the macro.
Oh, sucks to you.
Here, hold on a second. I'm gonna run the macro on my computer so that I can.
It's very important.
Very important.
It's critical to the watching experience, viewing experience. Alright. So I'm gonna take this time to look at what cities there are. And actually, spend my hard-earned cash on it. You guys say have a lot of good connections that are easy to get. Well, so does Europe on in this area. What do you think these names are? Alright. So, let's do the transit and the ones you have to go pretty far. So I think I'm going to start in Europe. Because there's some cheap connections. Cheaper connections, and then you can spread out here without having to worry about, conquering all of North America and then not having anywhere to go. Only to Paris. I'm gonna go with Paris, I think. I don't know what city that's supposed to be. Never heard of it.
Okay, Twitch macros are now running.
Yeah, it didn't show up on there, on the research chat.
Yeah.
I decided I want to buy Paris.
That's interesting. Oh, do you want to start Paris?
Yeah.
What did I cover up here? Oh, yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So that's $10.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was just yes, it'll be 10 for your first.
Cool. Done.
Okay, so that puts you at city number 1, which means that plant number 1 gets destroyed. So we got to draw a replacement.
Okay.
Plant. Oh, that is not plant 10. This is not a plant. So this is a special event card. This is a transformer.
Oh, that's cool.
So we bid on this, starting with lowest player, and it starts at $10. When you purchase this, you attach it to one of your power plants, and it runs one more city when you power it. So you put it up for $10.
Okay.
Would you like to buy it for? Or,
will I buy it? Sure, I'll buy it for 10.
Oh yeah, so it would be for you for 10, and then I want to decide if I want to raise on it. I'll raise that to 11. What do you say?
I'll raise that to 12.
How about 13? I'll take 13.
So 14?
15.
16?
17.
18.
19.
Hmm. 20.
Okay. You can have it for 20.
Okay. Cool. I don't know how much my money is worth yet, so.
I can't pick a smart way to do this. There you go.
Cool. Well, that's
So
fine.
now your power plant powers 2 cities.
Can I buy another city now?
Yeah, just let me put out this other card. So here.
So you made all this? You made this map?
I made this map. Yep.
Okay.
How
How come there's no cities in Canada?
I picked the 7 most populated metropolitan areas in a given continent, and Canada just would have been number 8.
Okay.
So the way that I console them is to tell them that they're responsible for the fact that our uranium production is the highest continent. Canada is responsible for a lot of uranium ore production.
Okay.
In real life.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was wondering why you picked, 2 ones in California.
It's just top of the line.
I see.
I had a very, very thorough spreadsheet for different metropolitan area populations.
I believe you. I've seen your spreadsheets.
Yeah. So now you may continue from here.
Okay, so I can buy another city.
You can buy as many as you like.
Cool. Well,
Although I wouldn't recommend more than 2
Yeah.
at this stage, unless you
Alright.
really think you want to try to
I'm
get
gonna
me out
buy-
somewhere.
What is that?
Rar?
Rar.
Ruhr? It's some German metropolitan area.
Metropolitan area. Okay.
Yeah, so it's cities or metropolitan areas.
Okay.
So Rar for an additional 12.
Great.
3. Okay, so there's
Right.
city 2.
Okay.
I'm going to destroy plant 2.
I recognized all the other ones that I can see except for that. I thought it was in Scandinavia, actually.
There aren't any Scandinavian cities. There's just not a huge
There's
population.
no cities in Scandinavia.
There's nothing. It's literally nothing.
It's just ice
Yeah, right.
and snow.
A snow plant. Okay, so you can continue if you like. I wouldn't
I can't
recommend
power
it.
any
You
more
can't
cities.
power more than that, especially at the beginning of the game.
And also I have $2 left, so.
Yeah, there's not really much you're going to do to completely block me out, honestly.
Alright, well, I'm out. I'm done.
Okay. It's going to be a tough little move for me, but I think I'm going to start in... Let me get my little cities out. I'm going to... Tough maneuver. I think I'm going to start in Moscow. or it's going to be 10 to start.
You have the whole world to go to.
I know.
You're right there next to me.
I know. Once you go Moscow, you never go Moscow. Shut up.
I didn't even
Here, can you
say.
give me $1 back? I'm going to pay 24 to get to Delhi.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see a sense in continuing, although I could, because I already beat you on tiebreaker for plant power, so I'm
Yeah.
going to be in first place no matter what. But I can't afford another one. I mean, this is supposed to be secret, but we've blown all our money. I don't think it's a huge secret streak
We're broke.
right now. Yeah, we're pretty broke right now.
Okay.
Okay, that's phase 4.
Great.
Phase 5 is run your plants. So each of us runs as many plants as we wish. Don't necessarily have to. Here's what I think you should do. Put the materials that you're using in some pile in front of me, and I will help use that to restock, because I'm going to need 1 garbage, 1 uranium, 4 coal, and 3 oil.
Okay.
So if that's what you're using, this is what we'll restock.
Yeah.
So pay us based on our cities. I think you should take
Using this.
initiative, and pay yourself, and then ask me how many cities I powered.
So I powered 2 cities.
Right.
So.
Each of us has powered 2 cities, so we're both going to get $33.
Okay. I'm thrown off by the fact that coal is drawn as black, but it's the brown
I know.
piece.
I know.
It's just wrong.
I know. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. The very end of the phase, I take the largest numbered power plant, put it under the deck, which means we're going to be seeing this one later. We get a preview of power plant technology in the future.
Okay.
But hey, there's a vacancy, which means I have to replace it.
Okay.
Okay. Now is a new turn.
Alright.
So the first thing I do is phase 1 is rearrange the track. I am in the lead. We have the same number of cities, and I have the higher plant.
Yeah.
So I stay in first place.
Okay.
That's it. Phase 1's done.
Cool.
Phase 2 is auction power plants, and that starts with highest player number,
Okay.
because that means they get access to the worst ones. Okay.
Okay.
So I get to pick 3, 6, 7, or 8 to put up for auction.
Why? Oh, because it's the bottom row.
Yeah, those are the ones on the bottom.
Okay.
I'll be honest, none of these are great.
Hmm.
Garbage and uranium don't get restocked quickly enough to push them outside of their rather pricey bracket. Right now, garbage is running for 5 a unit. If I'm the only one buying it, then at least I don't have to compete with you for it. Well, it won't drive the prices up, but it's still going to be 5 per unit.
Yeah.
But it was already costing me 3 to run this plant, so maybe that's not a huge jump. On the other hand, it's going to cost me 2 oil to run the 7 plant, and while you don't strictly buy oil, together that's pushing the limit of how much is going to get produced. You know, I might put up 7. 8 is just like 6 but worse.
Yeah.
8 wind up being viable later in the game, but and then 3 just isn't powerful enough for me. So I'm going to put up 7 for auction. So it starts at a bid of 7. So you can raise me on that if you like.
And if you buy it, then we'll pull out another one, and then I get to pick, right?
Yeah, if you say take it, it's yours, then it'll be your turn to put up an auction. But I've already bought one, so I can't participate. So you can buy it at list price.
But I will have a different one to choose from as well.
Almost certainly you'll have 16, because almost every card that comes off that deck is going to be higher than 16.
Okay. I don't know. You can take it.
Okay. For $7, I have an oil plant, and here's your 7. Before I forget and don't pay.
I'm gonna come after you.
Yeah, right.
Repo your power plant.
You can just tie it up with hitch it to the back of your pickup truck.
Use their video. Yeah, there should be video happening. We're over here.
Alex,
Hi, Alex.
can you see what's going on? Should I go? Oh, man, should we check the?
Well, I'm on Twitch right now, and I can see it.
Can you see it on my YouTube channel?
Hello? Let me pull up your YouTube. I don't want YouTube premium free. Where are... I don't know how to use the YouTube app. Okay.
Let me turn this towards.
Hester Tibbs, live. I'm watching you right now. No, one person's watching.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's showing up there.
Okay, Alex, I mean, there's a camera pointed here, there's one for overhead, and there's one here, so things aren't going to evolve a whole lot. I mean, I know it looks like crap, because these webcams aren't great, but this is the best that we can do for live recording. Yeah, like, without something like a GoPro, this is probably the best thing that we can do for live recording. It's off my crappy, like, 6-year-old laptop, too. So where were we? We were worrying about
yeah, you just bought a power
plant. I gotta try
That's
not
my
to.
turn.
Okay, let's do a replacement.
Okay.
Why is this brown?
Did you make it?
No, I know why. This was supposed to be the one on top of the deck, so this was supposed to come out first.
Oh.
But that's okay, because now it's out.
Hmm.
Plant number 11.
I see. It's like 16.
Yeah, that was supposed to be number 9. Or, plant number, the 9th one.
Okay.
I forgot about that rule, sorry everybody.
But now it's 11.
Yeah.
Okay. So I take it that's a wind farm, and you just, like,
Yeah,
power
it just powers for free.
Sweet. Well, I guess I got that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
$11 for your thingy.
Done. Thanks.
Let's get a new plant.
32. That's not quite in order. I was hoping for 16. But, yeah.
I know. What are the chances? I mean, if I'd done things properly, 11 would have been out first. I feel bad. Dang.
Okay.
Black at first. Oh, okay. So something was just silly on your end. That's good to know. Alright, so, you've got your plant, I've got our plant, my plant, so let's buy some stuff.
Heck yeah.
So, you buy first.
Okay.
So you can only buy 1 unit, at most, of either coal or oil.
I'll buy a coal.
Great. Cool. So it's my turn. I have to buy 3 units of things. Okay, so for moving stuff, you can intermove stuff between your plants as long as they can properly store it. So I can do this, because this plant can store oil.
Okay.
So that mentally lets me think about
So I can buy more coal.
buying coal. Yeah, and that, when you build a 4th plant and then demolish one back down to 3, you temporarily have all 4 for the purposes of moving stuff around in case you wanted to demolish a plant but get the stuff off of it. You want to think of it that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I gotta buy at least 3 units, so I'll buy 3 of these. So it's 1, 1, and then 2 for those, so it's gonna cost me 4. Give me back 6, please. Now, I don't think there's any sense in me continuing to purchase. Like, I'll just run what I can for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so that's it for resources. So, cities. We go in reverse player order, so you buy your city first.
Okay. How much do I have? Okay.
Delicious, sweet, delicious coffee. I sure have. That's what I was trying to do. I know. If it helps, continuing to expand is going to be tough.
Yeah, maybe you should have gone on a different continent.
Well, that is the payback I get for trying to, give you trouble. This game is Power Grid, which is a board game about running a power plant.
Well,
this particular board that takes place in the entire world is unofficial. This is one that I made. A long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, actually. Alright, so Istanbul will be, looks like 21 for your cheapest connection.
I'm not sure if that was a good idea.
Did you want to buy it?
I'm thinking, well, can I still change my mind?
Sure.
Alright, fine. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna buy Madrid instead.
Okay.
And then
13?
I'll get $10 back. Okay. No. Okay.
13? Did you pay that? What was I trying to remember to do? Yeah, get rid of this guy. I have plant 36. So the market's starting to evolve. It's all the highest one so far. The market's starting to evolve. Now, I've got to buy... are you done, or are you going to continue?
I'm done.
Okay. I can power 4 cities if I run both of these stinkers, so it would be to my benefit to continue to buy cities. So... that's going to be 10 for both of them. Now, my remaining money, what can I actually afford? Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to buy myself 2 cities. I'm going to buy St. Petersburg for 13. And then Calcutta for another 13, so it's going to be 26.
What if I don't want to take the bank refuses?
What do you mean, PayPal? So that puts me at 4. So I could have stayed at 3 and had the buying purchases, because you got the better plan than I do. But I can power 4, so I might as well just... Olivia came on to say it's Power Grid, World Grid, you dummy. Well, they're commenting from YouTube, so they're not going to see the spank macro. Never mind that if you don't know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. So I've got my 4 cities.
Yeah, you sure do.
Well, I'm not going to continue to buy. So now it's phase 5. Power your plants.
Okay.
Power your cities. Is that everything?
Yep.
Okay, so exactly the right amount of coal gets restocked. And 2 oil, and pay us if you don't.
Alright, so I've got 2 cities.
Power Grid, World Grid.
Okay. And how many
You
did you
don't
power?
know.
You powered 4?
I powered 4 cities.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Why, thank you. So to end the turn, I take the highest plant, put it under the deck,
Okay.
and get a new one. We get plant. This gets bumped back up because we now have plant 20.
Okay.
And now it's a new turn. So we rearranged the in-plan order. I'm in first place. Nice. So a married couple is watching on 2 different machines, and they're saying there's a slight delay, a different delay between the 2, so they get to hear everything 2 times. So I'm sorry. You can always mute one. Unless you really want to hear my voice twice.
Yeah, nice try.
Oh yeah, that doesn't piss
Okay,
them off.
so
So now it's auction plants. So this is in
Okay.
forward player order, so I'm first.
I wonder.
Now you're limited to 3 plants.
Okay.
So,
My transformer doesn't count as plant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
but when you demolish that
That really
plant, the transformer goes with it, which is
Okay.
the only reason I stopped continuing to bid on it. Because it's a powerful device, but
Mm.
it's also going to get attached to our crappiest plant.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
well, 20 is obviously the most powerful. However, 16 is free. I like both of these, to be
Okay.
honest. So,
I think they just heard you say that.
did they hear my quadruple talk?
Yeah, well, there's also going to be like a 10-second delay between when
Right.
when you say something to when you see somebody's response to it.
I'm sorry, Alex and Olivia. So then,
Okay, power plant time.
yeah. So I'm really thinking between 16 and 20. There's no sense in me buying the 6 or the 8 if I could just get fuel for free, except it would put me in first place for planet order. If I were to get 16 and you were to get 8, then I would still be in first for planet order. 20 is powerful, and it's not that expensive to run the oil. You know what? I'm gonna put up 20.
Powers 3 houses on one barrel.
That's right.
Any point one.
Okay. You can have it for 21.
Can I change my mind?
No.
Alright. I was worried that might happen, but I think it will.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy the 21 plant because that's 3 garbage and that's insane.
It's basically 3 piles of garbage.
It's basically a pile of garbage itself. It's 4 piles. Okay, so I have my choice of any remain. And now, with the exception of the very first turn, you never have to get a power plant. And in fact, if both of us abstain on a given turn, I get rid of the lowest numbered plant. That's another additional rule because if we don't want it at that time, we're probably not going to want it in the future. So now I can buy 16 with impunity. I mean, if I don't continue to buy plants right now, I'm going to be in trouble. So I'm going to have to buy it. So here's 16 on the nose. Here you go. Gotta grab 16 and can counteract my massive fossil fuel burning system with a little bit of free energy.
Okay.
And the new plant is 25. Okay.
So. Okay.
Now remember, you can choose which plants to run.
Yeah.
So if it's economically viable, you can always just shut one off. And in fact, so because I strictly adhered to how much each continent produces in general, that means that some produce more than others. And I think the 3 that we picked happen to have the most production of all 6. So if we had picked South America and Africa, resources would be so tight that we would often have to just not run plants. And that makes for a very different game. Alex says smoke plants every day.
Eat pant every day.
Eat pant every day, indeed. Okay, so now we buy resources.
Okay.
Reverse player order, you're first.
Wait, did we not? Oh, okay. Buildings next.
Righto.
I have a question about
From Sydney. I don't understand.
that. Okay. Alright, resources.
Yep.
Who buys?
Reverse order, so that's you first.
Cool. Yeah, I'll buy. I'll buy 2 rows.
Okay. Anything else? Alright.
Well, no, I'll buy a coal.
Okay.
Just even that.
Okay.
Alright, I'm done.
So you're at max for
I'm max.
storage. So I need to buy 2 oil straight away,
I'm hoarding.
which is going to be $4. So give me back 6, please.
Okay.
I'm going to buy these 2 oil for my 7 plant. But I need to buy 3 more units if I'm going to run my 5 plant. And that's going to cost me $4. So I'm definitely going to buy that.
Okay.
So 2 coals and then something. We'll say another coal.
Okay.
Now, I could buy more. And I don't know. No, it's not. I'm going to have to play a little bit conservatively. I've been dumping all my money into buying the better technologies, but that makes it harder for me to get cities. So I'm just going to stop at the resources. Okay, now we get cities. Reverse order. You go first.
Yeah, so. You've, blocked me off.
Right.
No remorse.
Right.
So there's only 2
No
possible
regret.
cities that I could get at this point.
Right. But remember,
how do I do this?
if you
If I
don't,
wanted to build on St. Peter, for instance.
you can't. We have to wait until step 2, which occurs when one of us gets our 9th city. So remember, it is a viable tactic to hang back, and if you're behind me in cities, that always puts you in 2nd place, so you'll get better purchasing power.
Well, I'll buy London.
Yeah.
While I'm at it.
Okay.
So that's going to be 13.
13.
So it's 7. Wait.
Put you 4.
Yeah. But I can power 1, 2, 3. I could probably 6 these.
You can. So you can continue to build.
Well, I still do is going to cost me 21. Right?
Yes.
Looks like I'll go off on that.
Or you can go to New York for 74.
Yeah, I don't think I have enough.
Hey man,
right now.
laying cable across the ocean is expensive.
Yep.
Okay, are you done
How'd
then?
you pick these numbers, by the way?
The way that I picked the number was based on a straight line distance between the cities, and then I quadrupled the cost for as much water as it ran through. So, if this was land,
Yeah.
that cost would be a quarter of what it is. It's simply
okay.
based on straight line.
I see.
Now, this doesn't account for any map projections, because that would have been extremely difficult to do. This was back in 2000.
Wait, so this wasn't like you Google mapped it?
I don't think Google Maps existed back when I made this. This was like 2008, and if it did exist, it didn't have that kind of functionality.
I'm pretty sure it existed.
Okay, it might have existed, but it didn't have like that globe version that we've got today, where you can actually just pick two arc distances on the surface
Google
of the planet.
Earth came out, and it let you measure this.
Oh, okay,
So you should
but
try
Google
hard.
Earth didn't come out 10 years ago.
I'm gonna look it up. Okay.
All right. Oh, hi, Nissan. Have you played Power Grid?
What's up? It's your turn, because I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you can get it on your phone now. It was initially released in 2001.
Let's try this. Let's see if this works.
That's right. Because I remember playing with that on the home computer and being like blown away by Google Earth and like really good. Yeah, it came out in 2001. You could have done it.
Oof, this doesn't look good on this. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm losing out on messages that he's sending me because. Okay, so Nissan, what's happening is that I'm using a chat app on my iPad, and the iPad isn't really, Chrome on the iPad isn't fully prepared to handle the chat app, so sometimes your messages just get buried. So I'm gonna try not to touch the thing.
Is there any way I can send a picture to the chat? Because that would be funny.
Send a picture of the chat.
I guess I could take a picture, upload it to Tinder, and
I don't know how I would put it on the screen, but you could.
I could just put the intro on the screen.
Oh yeah, you should. Hey.
Okay. This is the slow camera.
Right. Beth's gonna plunk a link onto Imager for what's going on right now, so you can see how messy this whole thing is.
The first picture, you're like, are you sure you want to take this picture?
Are you sure? So where were we? Were we with cities?
Yeah, your turn by cities.
Oh, it's my turn by cities. Okay. Well, you're itching into Istanbul, so I'm gonna grab that right now before you give me more help.
I have to check your money and make sure it's not counterfeit.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm now at 5 cities. I can only buy one other city, and it's a very specific city. But here you go. I lost my money. I need to grab Mumbai.
Alright.
And now that's it. We're a little bit stuck for now. Beth is especially stuck. But, once you start saving up money, you can make that jump, and then you'll have the entire North American continent, and I won't have access to that. So that puts me at 6. Which gets rid of this plant. Oh wait, I have to destroy that. I don't throw it under the deck. I don't want to go. Okay, the new plant is number 13. Okay, so we built cities. Let's power plants.
Alright.
Pick your plants, toss your stuff in a pile. Poison. Oh, you don't need to run your 4.
My 4. That one?
You're
yeah,
number 4.
I guess not. I'll just run this one.
Okay.
No, I do need to run it. Oh, no, I don't.
You don't?
Okay. You're very right. Alright. Hopefully that way.
Pay us.
I sent it to the Switch.
Thank you.
Alright, so I powered 4.
Nice. Beth just sent it. For those of you in the Twitch chat, Beth has just sent an Imager link of what this entire setup looks like. I've got one web camera hanging from the ceiling.
Can you
I've got
see
another webcam. Well, it's a different iPad positioned
Can you
over
send
the plant
that
market.
to everyone's chat so that Olivia and Alex can
Oh,
see
that's a
too?
good point.
I was on. I guess I could go there and send it myself.
No. Let's copy link URL and let me paste it. I'm gonna try to send it to all platforms currently.
Oh, that's cute.
What?
YouTube actually lets me see the. No, I'm gonna be too. YouTube actually lets me see the old comments. I just sent it to YouTube chat.
I have no idea how to paste actually.
I mean,
What? I don't.
the Twitch chat only lets me see things that I've seen, the messages that show up like while I'm in the room. There we go. Alright, well I sent it to both chats, so.
Well, this would have gone
And
everywhere.
myself, and you have 6 cities. You powered 6.
I powered 6. I have 6. I powered 6. There we go.
There's
All right, I'm
6
going to send
cities.
it to on the universal messaging system.
60. 70.
So, okay, both YouTube and Twitch should be able to see this message. I guess I can't send messages to
There you go.
Steam yet, but oh well.
Oh.
Cool.
So,
And I can't interconnect with Discord, but that's fine. So we've been paid. You've been paid.
yeah, I paid myself. I paid you.
Yep. I played myself.
Basically.
I played my fiddle. Plant
If
goes
you
under the
wanna-
deck. We have plant 54 is next.
Staging my ones for 5. Whatever. Reasonable.
All right, new turn. So I am definitely in the lead, so I'm staying in place 1. So now we buy plants. So it's an auction, and it's starting with me.
Cool.
Now, I have to buy a plant if I'm going to power more than I've currently powered this city. Or rather, I need to buy a plant if I'm going to power any cities that I buy this turn. Free garbage for 5? That's insane. So the 8 and 13 are worthless to me. Because they don't increase my capacity at all. I got a 2, 2, and 2 plant. So I will not touch those. Yeah, that means the only options are 21 and 25. Now, 21 is a little too expensive for my tastes. And
Where's
20...
your hair go?
I left it at a shop about a half a mile away. They got a little overzealous with the clipper, and this is after about a month of growth.
No, it's 6 weeks probably. Because it was right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving, I wanted to get it cut for Beth's family, so I didn't look like a hippie slob. And I go in there with a picture of the last time it looked short, and I liked it. He's like, "Oh, okay. Here's the shortest clippers I got." So now it's not first time. Like this is after a month of growth. It looks tolerable, but before it looked, oh man, it was not good. Not good. Not my style. So I'm not going back there anyway. The question is, do I want 25? Will 25 be worth my increase? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to put up 25 for auction. Beth?
Okay.
Are you
Go for it.
just going to let me have it? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have any use for
here,
it.
can you break this? Into 25.
Okay.
So I've got plant 25. I'm going to use this to replace plant 7, because
Oh yeah, I guess I could.
they're identical. This does cost more material, but then I 5 oil a turn. That's ludicrous. I'm going to scrap plant 7.
Okay.
I think it's worth it.
Alright.
Okay. Let's get a replacement. Oop.
Okay.
Beth, you can buy one of those if you like.
Okay.
That's that list price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously not.
I mean, I'm doing pretty well right now. I guess I can do it 13 if that's the equivalent that I have now with 4 in the first one.
Yeah,
there's no
so
point.
it's not necessarily a good idea to buy a plant every single round.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're blowing a bunch of money that you need to expand out your grid. This game is extremely good at self-balance.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything then.
You might be better off, and since you need to spend a lot of money to make a very important jump, blowing money is not going to be smart. So yeah, once you get over there, you're going to start dominating North America.
Gotta save up a bit for that.
Although technically it would be cheaper for you to go this way and start scooping up. So I'm looking at this. Yeah, it's probably going to be cheaper for you to go shoot on down to East Asia.
East Asia.
Like it's going to be cheaper for you to pay the intermediary connections through me to get down to this region than it would be to get to North America. That's going to be kind of like the... it's going to be Manifest Destiny all over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then where were we? We were buying plants. You opted not to get a plant,
Yep.
so let's get some resources. So, you go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll buy another order.
Great, so that's what, $1?
Yeah. That was cheap for me.
Not so cheap for me, so it's going to cost me 6 to buy mine.
No. Power your 6 cities.
Then I also need to buy some coal, so I should have not given you that. Just give me 10 for everything, so I'm going to do another 4. Can you give me back the 6?
Okay.
Now, I might be buying a new plant to demolish one of these, so it doesn't make sense for me to double down on either of these plants. I'm going to get rid of them.
Okay.
So I'm probably just going to stay where I am as far as resources go.
Okay.
And it's cities time, so go ahead and buy your cities if you'd like. Or you can.
It's a good joke. Don't think I can.
No.
I would have to jump across the ocean.
Would you? Because, like I said, you could leapfrog over me and get into Shanghai or Seoul. Well,
I
Shanghai.
thought I'm not allowed to do that.
You are allowed to do that. Any intermediary connection.
I see.
That's why I'm saying it's cheaper for you to go that way.
Great. Okay. So I can pay the whole. Probably this is. It's still pretty expensive.
15,322, and then the 10 for Shanghai.
Yeah.
It is a lot. So that's what, 25 plus 15 is 40, so it'd be 50 to get Shanghai.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Okay. I might as well start buying cities if I can. If I buy just one more, I don't have to run my 5 plan. Which I might do.
You don't have to run 5 plan?
If I buy just one more, I'll have
right.
7.
I was looking at the one that powers 5 houses versus the number 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy 21 to Shanghai. And might be able to do another 6 to Seoul, but that would push this into step. No, it wouldn't push it into step 2 because that's at 9 cities.
Yeah.
So currently I power 7, and if I were to power 8 instead, I get $8 more. Which would be technically I'd get more money than I spent on the fuel it would take to run the machine. So yeah, I am going to buy my 8th city of Seoul for $16.
What's going on outside?
Someone's on fire.
Flashing lights.
Someone caught fire outside. Don't worry about it. Massive New Year's celebration. Right.
I don't know. They're going down the street, so.
Set fire, D.
Okay, so
now I didn't actually tell you how the game ends. So the game actually ends when in 2 players, one of us reaches at least 21 cities. That will trigger the very last round of the game.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Alright.
And that conveniently is the one that's top notch. Actually, that's every city.
Okay.
That's all cities on the board. So once one of us has every possible city, that's when the end of the game is.
Okay.
So we do have to make the cross-ocean connection eventually.
Okay.
We both have to make that jump.
Yeah.
Okay. We got our cities.
Okay.
Now we power our plants.
Okay.
So I'm going to run both of mine because it's economically worth it.
Okay. Good. Unless I took it from the wrong one. Not that it's super running, but.
Okay. So give us some money.
Okay. So now we get paid out for places.
So the first time that I played this game, I actually played sort of a bootleg version. I was waiting for this thing to arrive in the mail because I just bought it, but I printed out my own. I printed out a custom map that somebody made of Great Britain and a bunch of custom power plants. So, and I was able to use Monopoly pieces to play the game before I owned it. But I'd already paid for it, so I don't consider that to be piracy. It was just a matter of about a week for it to ship. Bit of cooking. Oh, man.
Have fun.
I wish I'd asked what you were cooking. So, have fun if you're still around, Nissan. Have great fun. We're going to be cooking, too, for some reason. Tomorrow.
I don't know if we'll probably have to make something for tonight. Yeah. Anyways.
What is... So, I'm getting messages from Alex on Hangouts. He says, symbol that doesn't appear properly in the preview window, and he says, hello. Hello, Alex. I hope you're still alive.
Is this a different Alex that's the one on the screen?
Same
know several
Alex.
Alexes.
Same Alex.
Alright.
I don't know if you've met him. Maybe you have. That was... We got paid?
Yeah.
I see a green bill, so that means you did pay. You paid me for 8 cities? What is it for 8? 90. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, these are 10s for 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so last part is to put 54 underneath. Okay, new round. New round. I'm again in first.
Okay.
So now it's going to be power plant auction.
Yep.
And I didn't even have enough cities to run my power plants at maximum efficiency, so I might not put one up for a bid.
Okay.
In fact, 13 is worthless to me. 21 is too expensive to maintain. 28 is the only close viable alternative. In fact, 29 would be better than 28, technically, because then I could take any combination I like. But that's a lot of money to, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm ready for that commitment yet.
Okay.
But what if I were to say go? What if I were to actually put it up, and then you let me have it?
For which one?
29. Yeah,
29.
if I were to say I wanted that, and then you gave it to me, would that be a huge chunk out of my bank account? Too much for me. No, that's fine. I gotta put up 29 for auction.
29. I'll raise you to 30.
You can have it. Because 28 is so similar. But
That's true.
coal is starting to evaporate, so I gotta be super careful. So you have an interesting decision to make. Do you demolish your weakest plant that's cost you nothing to maintain?
This one?
11.
Yeah, probably that one.
Or do you demolish your 4 plant and lose your transformer?
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed I can't move the transformer around. Because that would be cool.
Yeah. That would be chaos, though. That would essentially mean the person who buys it will win the game. Because they'll always have, like, a 1 power advantage.
Yeah.
That's a bit much. I don't think I'm supposed to replace the plant until you've chosen.
Okay.
Or, you know what?
What happens?
Why don't I
like,
just
if I
replace
were
it
to
first?
get rid of one of these, what happens to it?
Why don't I replace the thing first? 9, eek. Does that matter? That's terrible. I would have liked to get 32.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh well. 28's a good second place prize for 29. What's the matter?
Just trying to figure out. Why does it matter when you put it up?
Because that might help you decide which one you're going to get rid of or something.
I see. I think I have to get rid of.
So that's deciding which
Okay.
which
I don't know.
plants to nuke.
So if I have these, I can move these to like one of these ones, right? Like,
Yeah.
Up here.
Yeah, you can we can salvage just as long as you can store them in the
Alright.
plants.
I'm gonna go with this then.
Yeah, I'll get rid of these.
R.I.P. Transformer.
Yeah, you just it caught fire and exploded. It happens. These things happen. I want to point out a really interesting detail you might not have noticed. The dirtier plants have grayer skies.
That's good.
Okay.
Alright.
We've both gotten our... Oh, no, I haven't gotten my plant yet.
Okay.
Well, 28's pretty much as good as 29, as long... I'm already...
Flexible.
Yeah, I'm totally buying a bunch of oil anyway. I'll just get the 28 plant.
Okay.
28. Should I have 22 back?
22.
22. So I gotta demolish plant number 5. We're gonna replace with 22. Okay,
Okay.
great. Now let's buy resources. So that's reverse, you go first.
Okay. I'm gonna buy. Yeah. Let's do a quick calculation here.
Yeah.
I guess I will buy. I just need a anything, really. I don't know if I need those.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll buy another thing. Since it's there.
Right.
For $1.
I'll buy coal for $1.
Okay. I think I need to work on my budgeting skills here.
Yeah.
Well,
This game makes you change your budget a lot. Are you good?
Yeah.
I need to buy 12 for all my baseline materials. Free oil, free coal. This is not sustainable.
Okay.
Us both buying the bare minimum is going to dry out the market. So I might just double down and, I don't know, survive on the materials. I'm going to put myself in a bad situation. I think about it. Well, how many cities could I actually buy with what I've got left? How many do I need to buy? Currently I own 8. I can power upwards of 12. So if I could buy 4 more, there's no way I can purchase 4 more cities with the money that I have. So it might be okay for me to just 6 times 3 is 18. Maybe I could just buy another stack of one of these. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just confusing myself.
Okay.
So I'm good at resources. Let's get cities. It's your turn to start.
Alright. Gonna buy New York. I saved up for it.
Saved up for New York.
74.
Holy crap.
Plunk.
Want to try it again?
What? What?
Did you see how you had it?
I thought it was upright. Whoops.
Okay, you got New York.
I sure did.
Now you've got Manifest Destinies on your side, so you can buy more cities if you like. No? Okay. Well, next turn you'll be able to swamp.
Yeah. I shouldn't have bid extra on this, I think.
So I don't think there's any sense. So now that Beth's made the really expensive connection, I think I should just buy up the cheapest ones that I got. But the deal is that once I buy any more cities, we can start getting doubles.
Which will make my life easier.
I don't know if it's going to make my life easier.
Eurasia.
I don't think it will. But if I currently hang at 8 and continue to power 8, that's going to require me to blow all my fuel anyway. So I could just run 7 and get paid for 7, which is 82. Now this is tough. Do I deliberately not expand my grid to prevent Beth from starting to get into my grid? Or is that going to be too costly? Ooh. I like decisions like this.
Okay.
But it's going to be more expensive to just power all of my cities, so do I deliberately hang back and not dry up the market? Yeah, I think I'm going to not get cities this turn.
Alrighty.
So let's power, and I'm not going to power all my
Democracy.
cities.
Alright. Well, I gotta power 5. So.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do that. Then we get paid. Ooh. So I have 5 now. Oh, you already gave me. Okay. And you have 8 again.
I did 7 cities.
Oh, you only powered 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have to run my 25, and that's expensive for oil costs.
Cool. There you go.
Thank you. What's the difference between 7 and 8? $8? I'd probably wind up breaking even buying that oil, so I just opted not to.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so get rid of the high one. It's
Yep.
number 42.
What's that?
This is an event. It's warehouse depletion.
Oh no.
What that means is that I have to find the one resource that we have the most of, or is the cheapest,
Yeah.
and remove 3 of those, or 1 if it's uranium. In that case, it's coal, so 3 coal get removed from the market.
Okay.
And plant 30 comes out.
It's not bad too, but also still okay.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, so new round. I'm still in the lead with city count.
Yep.
And now let's auction plants. So I'm first to auction. There's no sense for me to get a new plant because I can't even power. I don't even have enough cities to run what I've got, so I'm skipping. So you can buy a new one if you like at list price.
Huh.
5, 9.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. I have 29, so which is more versatile and powers more. 13, maybe? I don't know. I don't think that game's super worth it. 22. I think I'm gonna pass for now, actually.
Really? Okay.
Well, let me think.
Okay.
Tell me what to do.
I'm just-
Figure it out.
I'm not saying that it's a bad choice. I'm just saying I rarely have a chance to throw away a plant because we both abstain. That one rare rule.
I mean, I have enough power to do. I could power 9 cities with the plants I have now, and I only have 5. So I need to buy 4 more cities before this is a problem.
Right.
And coal is. Well, coal is what I need. So, yeah, I think I am. That's not good.
Okay, gonna hang back?
Yeah.
Alright, so if we both abstain, the lowest plant gets demolished.
Yeah. Okay. Alright.
So that means... yeah, it's 13 and 9. Okay, now we're gonna get resources. So you're first.
Or resources.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not so bad for me continuing with this strategy.
Okay. Well, I'll need, let's see, 2. Let's see. That's fine. Alright. I only need. Alright, so I'm gonna pay for and get these.
Okay. I'm gonna pay 9 and get my coal.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Now it's cities. You can go ahead.
Alright. So first we're gonna buy Washington.
Okay.
Because that's cost 1. And then
I think I've been playing badly.
I'm gonna buy Chicago, which is 13. And then
How many did you? You're at 7 now. Okay, 1.
And then I can buy Dallas for another 13. Let's do it here.
So we're both at 8?
It doubled my empire.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, are you done?
I think I'm done. I guess I could. I could buy that, and then that kicks us into stage 2.
Right.
So I want to do that. Oh, it's the cheapest one to do that. You have to be 15. Well, 25. So yeah, I'm done.
If I don't buy any cities this turn, I will be in second place now because we tie for cities and you have the better plan. You have the 29 to my 28.
I see.
I don't think that that's a huge advantage, and the fact that you have, well, I was going to say you got all of North America
Almost.
that you now expand into, and I don't, but you've only got one more city for easy access than I do. I've got, East Asia, so it's not like you're at that huge advantage anymore. So I might want to bump it to the next phase. In fact, I think I'm going to do that because I don't want to fall too far behind with money. So,
okay.
For 15, I'm going to buy Osaka. So give me 5, please.
Okay.
So that's Osaka. 21 as a reminder.
Okay.
I can't buy second places in the cities yet because step 2 doesn't occur until we're done with the cities buying phase, but I've hit the trigger condition.
Okay.
So for 11,
What's the second in block 4, by the way?
lowest plan
Oh, okay.
in the market.
Oh.
11 for Tokyo. Because if somebody buys that many cities, I destroy that plan.
Oh.
So I'm at 10. Now, I'll need to buy one more city if I'm going to actually get use out of all 3 of my plans. But that's not cheap. That's $99. Oh my.
Well, okay.
Are you ready for this?
No, don't buy it.
Are you ready for this?
Don't buy San Francisco. I wanted it.
Are you ready?
I wanted to have North America all to myself.
$98.
Ha.
I am $1 short of crossing the ocean.
Good. Stay over there.
$1 short.
I'm gonna build a wall on California's coastline.
Damn it. Well,
Okay.
if you buy San Francisco, I'll be able to do that very thing next turn. It's just going to cost me $5 more.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge deal.
Mm. Okay.
Alright, fine. Well,
Okay.
so I've hit the step 2 trigger condition. So 2 things happen. First, lowest plant gets demolished. So now the lowest one's 21.
Okay.
And I, of course, replace.
Great.
But the other thing that happens is that restock rates change because it's now step 2. Oh wait, you built first, right? Yes, you built. You built and then I built.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This isn't supposed to happen until we're both done.
Okay.
So now restock rates change.
Okay.
So I'm going to reset these back to 1 and recount what they're going to be.
Okay.
So it's going to be +2 for North America,
Okay.
+1 for Europe, +2 for Asia. So we're now getting 6 coal around instead of 4.
Yay.
Oil is going to be +0 from North America, +0 from Europe, +2 from Asia. So we're actually getting the same. We're breaking
It's the
even.
same.
It's the same amount
Yeah.
of oil. Now garbage is going to be +1, +1, +0. So garbage actually has increased.
Okay.
We're going to be getting 3 garbage around.
Okay.
And uranium is going to get +1, +0, +0. Everything but oil has increased, and substantially so,
Cool.
by a large percentage.
Okay.
So now that actually makes a lot of these plants much more viable.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to phase 5,
That's fine. Bureaucracy.
where we
Get money.
burn.
Yeah.
And get paid. So I'm just gonna spend all my fuel and power
Same.
all my cities.
Okay. So I have 8. You have 10.
10 cities. Yeah.
Okay. And you get 1, 2, 5. 3, 5, 6.
Cool.
Okay. Right.
So now of course, we can now purchase the second position in every city.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a buyer's market for uranium now. And we conclude the turn by putting the biggest plant underneath the deck. Let's grab the 15. Okay. So now we rearrange. I'm still in first, so I get to auction first. And
Okay.
the most powerful plant out right now is 21, but the most economic is 30. So those are going to be my 2 options. 15 is worthless.
Worthless.
To me, it's worthless.
Okay.
You can get almost no use out of it. So 15 is just going to be a roadblock. 22 is economically unviable because the only thing that hasn't increased is oil production.
Okay.
So we're still kind of slowly evaporating the oil market.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second. Happy New Year. Are you home? I have some goodies from the Philippines I'd like to share with you. Hope you're not allergic to mangoes or peanuts.
What? What's that?
Happy New Year! Exclamation point. Yes, comma, we are home. Exclamation point.
Yes, we are hungry.
That is our landlord, who went to the Philippines for Christmas, because I think that's where she's from. And she brought back goodies, which we both like very much. Okay, so we were doing plant auction. So I had to choose between 21 and 30, because I'm going to really need to... I've got enough money to buy at least 2 cities, so I'm going to buy 2 cities. But I should really be buying more so that I can start powering a bunch. So I think I will put up 21 for auction. 21.
Garbage.
It's not cheap to buy the garbage, but we're now getting 3 a turn, so it is sustainable, where it wasn't a turn ago.
Right. I don't know. You can have it.
Okay. I don't know if I'm good at this game. Here you go.
Okay.
Alright, I've bought plant 21.
Okay.
I'm going to knock down 16, and we're going to go full garbage. Screw renewables. we constantly produce garbage, so that's pseudo-renewable.
The same, right?
It's effectively renewable, isn't it?
Alright.
That's not good.
I wanted 32.
Welcome to my world. We've both gotten denied from 32.
Okay.
I know.
Well then.
Anything special happen? Yeah, this bumped down to 12.
Okay, so my option... I really only have one option here.
Funny how market
Which
do
is
that.
going to be 30.
I highly agree.
So I'm going to spring for it.
Do it. It's the only thing worth buying.
And again,
Everything else
we're
is
going to have to
trash.
get rid of our renewable energy
Well,
in favor of coal. Good, clean, dependable coal.
Good, clean, dependable coal.
I'm sure I've told you this before, but when I drive through Pennsylvania on the way home, there's a sign, a billboard. Are you kidding me?
It's only 3.
How could I use
3
that?
cities.
Oh well. Okay. But there's this billboard in Pennsylvania, which is of course coal mining and oil country.
Right.
That said to the effect of, the sun sets, wind dies, use coal.
Yikes! That is manipulation if ever I've seen it.
There's some twisting there going on. But
Yepers.
anyways, that's my story.
The Philippines aren't in this game, I just realized.
Oh no.
Oh
Is
no.
this maps without New Zealand? Maps without Philippines?
Well, New Zealand is technically here, but it isn't
There's
represented city-wise,
There's
so...
Hawaii.
Sucks. I gotta leave
Yeah.
New Zealand uncovered.
Some missing pieces.
Oh, she's coming down back.
No snap. Well, we're gonna have to pause this stream. Briefly.
She won't be visible in the camera.
Yeah, but like, turn off the microphone. POV stream.
Yeah, okay.
So people know that
Let's do
that
that.
it's not just a static image for Hello.
Well, when she knocks,
Willie's
well,
already prepared.
we'll do the BRB
Willie's
stream.
ready for
So,
it.
did you just buy a plant and I bought a plant?
I bought a plant, you bought a plant.
Alright.
Now we buy materials.
Now we buy materials, so you're first.
Ooh. Right. So I'm gonna buy.
Oh, she's coming down. So, tell you what, I'm gonna
Okay.
put the screen up and mute it. So, we'll be right back, y'all. Hey, welcome back. We had a visit from our landlord, but she did not know that we were live streaming, so I thought it would be the most polite to just mute everything so we can have conversations. Like I said, she was in the Philippines and had a bit of difficulties flying because of storms and all that craziness. So we talked about our trips, and we said hi to Willie, the cat. But anyway, we're back.
She brought us Philippine snacks.
She did buy us Philippine snacks, so for
Chocolate,
those of you in the
peanut bars,
Philippines who recognize Annie's Haney milk chocolate, peanut bars.
dried mangoes. Heck yeah. Export quality. Whatever that means.
It means it's high enough quality to export, I presume. Or it has enough preservatives pumped into it that it can survive an export. Because cashew fruit is not export quality.
Cashew fruit.
The actual fruit of the cashew can't really survive very long. It's extremely perishable.
Oh, okay.
So, we were in the phase where we buy resources, starting with Beth.
Were we? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Don't even start. Okay. So I have...
Branded Skinner burgers.
No.
Old family recipe.
No. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I need to buy a coal and an oil.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
That's going to cost me 4. And this one needs 3 more.
Right.
So what should I buy?
I don't know.
Alright, well, let's see.
I could just not expand this turn and then run only 2 of my
Um,
plants. That would save me money.
Okay, so that's 5 things. And they're all 2 each. So that's 10. I can do math. That's what I think I need to buy. Let me double check before I'm done there. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
So, the question for me is that I could just run 2 of these things, 2 of my plants, and not buy any cities. That would save me from having to buy the materials to run the 3rd one. But, what's the difference between... If I just bought 1 more city and powered it, I would get $7 more. And that is almost as much as it costs to buy the new machine. So, I think I'm trying to justify I can buy and run all 3 of these, provided I get at least 2 cities. 2 more cities. If I don't do that, it's not worth it. So, I will. I'm going to buy the bare minimum. So that's going to be everything out of the 3 block minus $1. So 3 times 9 is 27. It's going to be 26 to buy all my materials.
Okay.
This is going to be these 3, and these 3, and these 3.
Okay. Making that up for max.
Right.
Okay.
Maximum overtroll.
So we get 2 uraniums now. That's cool.
Yes, that's right. Which, I mean, it's already maxed
none of
out.
us have uranium things.
Yeah, we're not burning any, so it's all for naught.
Yeah.
But
once we can get access to uranium, that'll be nice.
who's radium? Okay,
Yeah, okay.
I'm set. Let's get some cities.
Who goes first?
You do.
Even better. Alright. I'm gonna buy up some real estate now.
And remember, you can now buy the 2nd space in the city as that item for $50.
I'm gonna buy Mexico City and Los Angeles. So that's 30 total. Now we don't have to split it up.
Why 30?
Well, because it's 15 each.
No, it's 10 each, because you're buying the first space.
But it's 5 for the connection from Dallas.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it right, aren't I? And
Okay.
then
I got it down.
San Francisco is another level.
Okay. Right, there goes my any buying advantage. I can cross the ocean, but there goes my entire buying advantage to do that. It's literally no sense in me taking 8 and 9. If I gotta buy every city.
I can support up to 12 cities. I think. Yeah, I can support 12, and I have 11 right now. 600. Okay, so I could buy 1 more city and be able to support it. I don't know if I want to do that.
I suppose. Yeah.
So but now we're racing to get 21 cities, basically.
Um,
I have no idea.
it will be the end of the game when at least one of us has 21 cities, and the winner is the person who buys the most. So if you race to get as many cities as possible, and you aren't the one, and you end the game, but you aren't the one to power all the most, you lose. So it's not necessarily...
end the game.
The game's over when one of us has bought all the cities. But the winner is the person who powers the most. The chances that one of us is going to power all 21 is pretty low.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to come up. Okay. Well...
At this point, there are no cities that neither of us have claimed, so there's no race to prevent the other player from expanding somewhere. Can? Okay, that would be 11 plus 15, which is 26.
Okay. Okay. Because I think that would be so like
Okay, that puts you at 12.
Okay.
But that means that the 12th plant is nuked.
Alrighty.
And we get
The 10 plant.
new device. We have a storage facility. So this thing holds up to 3 units of any combination of anything. So this is going to be in, I think it's just player order, so I would buy this for 10. Are you interested? You can raise me on it. It's just, yeah, it's an additional unit that you have that will hold up to 3 of anything.
Does it attach to your power plants?
No, it doesn't attach to anything. It's just an additional thing on the side.
Oh.
It's a storage unit. I think it holds up to 3. It might actually hold up to 6, but I'm going to assume it's just 3.
I'll pass. You can have it.
Alright, it's just $10. It might come in handy. They break this into 40 back. And now I've got a storage unit.
Okay.
Seven. I think that is the highest, the single plant that does the most cities.
Okay.
There is one technically better plant that only does that. But, that one is the most powerful, if you want to look at that way.
Okay.
Right, you got the well.
Mm.
So,
okay.
what did we just do? We just
I
got
just
rid of a
built.
plant.
And I think is it your turn to build now?
It
Because you never
if you're done building, then I can build.
Yeah.
So I can go anywhere up to 15. So I can buy up 5 more cities and still have. I gotta build at least 2. I think I've decided. So I might as well make them the cheapest since we're not competing for space anymore.
Okay.
So the cheapest that I can get right now is Ruhr for 26. So here's 26.
Okay.
I apologize to all the German viewers. I don't know how that's actually pronounced. But for Paris for another 17, so I'll take 3 back. Currently, you have the better plan, so if I stopped here, I'd be in 2nd place. I'm not in a rush yet. I think I will stop here. Okay. Now it's on to payment, so fire up your plants. Rev up them fryers. Old family recipe.
Okay.
Stop it, Chris.
Okay. So we both have... I powered 12. Did you also power 12?
I powered everyone I've got. Yeah, 12.
Okay. Both got the same amount this time. I'm catching up.
I'm catching up, so you better run this power plant.
Just run.
I think it's more just because
Just think.
in multiple player games it's possible if you don't own more than 21 things, but it's so rare. So, what the hell are we doing now? Now
Good
we are switching off to the next round.
Yeah.
Put 57 underneath.
Okay.
It's 50. Yep, that's right. Okay, so a new turn. Finally, I'm in second place, since we tied for cities and you have the better plan.
Okay.
I really do want to be absolutely sure about the rules on that container. I think the container only holds 3 things. I don't think it can hold the double capacity like is the rule for plants, but I wanted to verify that.
Okay.
So I'll pop into my box because it was a promotional item. So I don't. The rules aren't around here.
There's not the rules over there.
Well, that particular promotion came in a small package, so the instructions would be about this big. And I don't see anything that looks like that. So yeah, I'll check this pile of rules and see if it's there. I don't think it is there. Yeah, I don't think so. Wow, so there is no reason for me to buy any of these plants, because they're all weaker than the ones I currently have.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to abstain on putting up a power plant auction.
Cool.
Oh wait, no, hold on, you go first.
I go
Because
first?
you're in first player, you put up the auction first.
Oh, I put up the extra first.
Yeah.
Well,
This may be different because you might actually care about grabbing something.
and then you might want to steal it. Okay.
No, because
Okay. I'd like 32.
well, as I was just implying, I'm not going to fight you for 32 because it's worse than all the plants I have.
Yeah.
Or less powerful. So take your 32.
Thanks. I'm gonna replace my 30 with that because now I get those 4 for free instead of for free.
It's 39. We'll just go there.
Oh, wait. No. I'm gonna replace my 20. Because then I get capacity.
Okay, so this is what I was hoping would happen. Whatever replaces that might be useful to me, and that is the case. So I can buy 37. I'd have to replace 25 or else I'd be on Creek. But I think it's going to be important to have one that powers 7. So that'll give me something. It's going to be expensive to continue replacing my plants like this, but could I have $13 back?
So I can power one more city than I currently
Well, I can power many more because I'm a long time.
Well.
Well.
Want to show off. That was him touching my feet.
Aha!
Bad.
We now have a surplus. Whatever material has the least, the fewest, in this case it's either oil or garbage, gets replenished. I think it is... It's a question. I think preferentially goes from top to bottom here when it removes, and the other way when it adds, so it's going to be free garbage.
Ooh. I don't care about garbage.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I still have to keep going, don't I? Uh-oh! Uh-oh, it's going to be step 3. So what were we in the middle of doing when that happened? It was power plant auction?
You were,
Okay.
we were buying a power plant.
So what this winds up doing is it supplants, it counts as the highest plant.
So it starts pushing those down. Well, dang.
But 39 is not super
But that
attractive.
sounds right. Okay.
Oh wait, I just bought a plant. We both bought
You
plants.
got a point?
Right, I bought
Oh,
37.
right. Okay.
Okay, so to end this phase,
Okay.
The lowest is removed because we have a step change. But now for the rest of the game, it is not replaced. We instead only have 6 plants, but they're all available.
Okay.
So I'm going to...
So all of those are going to be knocked down.
Yes. So in order to keep them visible in the stream, what I will just simply do is just put them all like this.
Okay.
So all 6 are now available.
Okay.
At the end of every round, I destroy the lowest number.
Okay.
Because since it's now end game,
Yeah.
It really is not... Nobody's going to want to buy any of those plants. So let's restock, or change the restock rates once again for the final time.
Okay.
So for garbage, or for coal, we have +1 from North America, +1 from Europe, and +2 from Asia. Yeah, coal.
You said garbage.
Sorry, I meant coal.
Okay.
Both are equally nutritious. So for oil, we have. It's actually read this off. It's gonna be for the coal was 1 from North America, 1 from Europe, 2 from Asia. For oil, it's going to be 0 from North America, 0 from Europe, 2 from Asia. So again, we bumped to 3. For garbage, it's going to be 1 from North America, 2 from Europe, 0 from Asia. For nuclear, it's going to be 0 from North America, 0 from Europe, 0 from Asia. Okay, so it looks like coal and uranium dropped down again, but garbage has gone up. So garbage plants are going to be preferred.
Garbage is looking good.
Garbage is looking good, but there's none in the market, so it's not really useful. Okay.
Okay.
So what we did was buy plants. Now we're going to buy materials. Same old nonsense. It is me first. So I'm just going to buy everything I need. So that there is 5, 11, 20 for all these resources. Do you have any oil plants? Yeah, you do.
It's liquid oil and people.
I'm going to hold on to this plant, so I'm going to buy 3 more of these, so I'm at 20. Plus 12 is 32. Now, I could buy 3 more because I've got the storage space. I'm just going to throw away the 32 right now. So could I have back however much that is? 18. It's going to be critical that I continue to run this plant.
That was wrong. I needed 12. Sorry. It was 18. I was thinking 2s.
I know.
Alright.
You're not buying garbage. You are buying coal,
Yeah, I only buy the finest quality things.
it's not going to be useful for me to gouge that on you. I'm not going to be running this plant much longer. There's no coal plants up the market, so there's no need for me to just... I'll be shooting myself in the foot. I'll be causing you to pay $3 more, but I'll be at the cost of me spending like 15, so screw it. Okay, I'm done buying my resources. Well, all right, Bobby.
Alright, so that's...
Where to go, boy?
And that's... That one. That's 11. So we do that now, so... That's 11 each roll. Buy one.
Just thought of something like that.
I don't know if I should buy more. Gonna restock.
I don't know either. Yeah.
It's gonna restock. I'm done.
Alright, let's buy some cities. So I'm up first. I can power 17 cities, but I only own 12, so I need to buy 5 to even start the power on that. So I'll just start scooping them up. I mean, what can you do? 5 plus 8, 13 cities?
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
I'm at 12. I could just only run 2 of my plants and just sit on it. But I don't think that's going to work. plan doesn't exist anymore. So I'm at what, 12? 12 is $118. Cheapest of these devices to run is going to be about 9, so I'm going to need to buy at least 2 cities to make this worthwhile. That's going to automatically put me in first place. I'm going to abstain buying cities this round. And just live off of 2 of my plants.
Alright. I need my city. And that city will be... Wait, is that a 3 connection?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna buy connection to...
Okay.
13.
That's it? Alright, let's power cities. I'm gonna run my coal plant. My will. So with 5 coal. How much oil? 3. Okay. Give us some monies.
Okay.
So to end step 5, I remove the lowest plant.
Okay.
So I also shuffled these, so you wouldn't be able to memorize the order that they went in there to begin with.
Okay. So we keep getting 6. So.
Yes. For the rest of the game.
Can we like auction any of them or
any
only
6.
one?
All 6 are available to us for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Oh, this is fine. Okay, I am still in second place, so that means you're first for an auction. There's a lot of good-looking stuff up there.
Yes. There sure is. I'm gonna go with 50.
50, you say. I really want it, you can tell, but it's staring at that. You can have it.
Okay. Well, that was easy. Thanks. This.
Oh boy. What I was kind of hoping would happen has happened. That's the most powerful one has come out. But my problem is that if I don't replace my current oil, I will have to be buying 6 oil around, and that's twice as much as I actually get from stock. So that's bad news. You're not competing with me for oil, so there's at least that. But, wow, that's a bad position to be in. But kind of why I blew all my coal off the 28 is the assumption I would be able to replace my coal plant. So yeah, I'm gonna get 57. And hope that it doesn't bite me in the ass. Not bad either. Okay, silence by resources. I'm first up.
Yeah.
You gotta buy 3 oil. You're not buying oil. So that's gonna be 12. I want to buy another 3 oil. Yeah, I'm not competing with. We're both exclusive for all of our resources, which is pretty cool. I could buy 3 uranium just to use hell, but that's not gonna do me much good. Just shove them in. Not really do me any good. I will buy more oil. So I owe you 12. Right. 9 times 3 is 27. It's gonna be $27 to buy all this shit? No. Just 12. 12's fine, thanks.
Okay.
Good God.
That's an expensive garbage bag, though. Just the least expensive.
Yeah, I feel like the oil plant. But do we? I gotta focus more on actually buying the cities that we run.
Let's see. I'm gonna buy one of these. 2.
Okay.
Hi, Willie.
Hi, buddy.
How are you? Yeah? You doing great?
Buddy boy Willie.
And I'm gonna try to do these. So let's what that's 3.
Good man.
And really pretty. 5.
I don't know what I'm doing myself.
Okay.
Oh, that's it.
So, yeah, I mean, that's
So we buy cities?
yeah. I suppose so.
What's going again? Oh, you just licked your butt.
Gross.
So I'm up to 5.
Okay. I thought you were
Well, I'm going to start getting some cities, because I kind of need to in order to actually get paid.
okay.
Now I can get upwards of 16 and actually get paid for all of it. So I'm going to try to buy 16. Well, 14 would be okay too. So the cheapest 2 cities I can get right now are London and Madrid for a total of 36. So, back 20. Plus the 6. So I got London and Madrid now.
Okay.
So that I would be okay running my 57 and my 21 plan and leaving my 37 out of it. And that would get me 14. It's worth $29. Don't be a baby.
Only 45 minutes.
Sure does.
Sounds like an hour.
Sure does.
Yeah, no time. Other than actually.
I think I might have to jump the ocean finally. I might need to finally do that. There's 60. 64 plus 15 for New York. There's my New York connection. And can I take the 5 back for that? Because I'm also going to get Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I guess 16 cents. Yes. I am good for now. Shut up.
I need to see it and see myself. Guys, you're gonna come up. Alright, so I'm gonna buy some cities. Okay. So I'm gonna buy St. Petersburg first, which is 18.
Okay.
There's 18. Okay. From last. I can go to okay, which is 14 plus 15, so that's 29. Okay. So that's so I get the
Right.
okay. Okay, and I have capacity for one more city. Ah! Yeah, this is the cheapest one. I don't even know how to that's 15 USDT. You can't power more cities, so is there any
You can't power them. What do you mean? You power up to how much? 16, right?
16.
But you own 15. Oh, that was
that was my
I didn't
16.
bump you up yet.
So,
I have the higher plant, so if you don't buy another city, then I'll be first place.
so
So I don't think there's a reason to do it.
Cool. I'm done.
Okay, let's power our cities. So I've got, what, 16 of them?
Yeah.
So my plan is that I'm actually, if I run these two, that's 16, but it's going to cost me more, I think, to replace the oil than I would gain from powering 2 more cities. Because, right, it's, oh, no, wait, 14 gives me 129, 16 gives me 38. That's only $9 more, and I'm going to have to be spending at least 9 to buy the replacement oil to run the 37. So I'm just going to power 14 this round.
Okay. I'm gonna power 10 down. Cool. So I get 16. Okay. And so you powered
14.
Okay. Still power that.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Alright, here we go, new round. I'm in first because we're same number of cities, but I have more. Thank you. I have a better plan. Then we do auction. Oh, right, I forgot to end the turn by destroying the lowest number plant. Replacing it with one that's not all that much better, to be perfectly honest. Well, actually, it is much better, but not as good as most of the others.
The power is 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we do forward order for power plants, and
So you
yeah, I'm first. I'm trying to decide if there's anything I really want. No, I'm not gonna buy a plant. I'm okay with what I have.
Okay. You don't have anything to spell. If I didn't just buy 50, I would have bought 50. I can buy any of these, right? If I wanted to. Any of the power plants.
Yes. I'm just
Okay.
planning on my move.
Okay. Well, I don't think I want anything to play with. We can kind of finish working on that. I might go for 52.
That's a good choice.
Because that's going to bump up my capacity a lot.
Yeah, if I maximally gouged you during the purchasing phase,
That'll
Dude,
put me up
it's-
to 20 cities that I can power.
still being paid.
So we're gonna, I'll go for 52. Did you want it?
No.
Okay.
I already opted out because
Oh,
I
right,
abstained. I can't compete with you.
Okay. So we're gonna knock out my last clean energy, I guess. Actually, why would I do that? Why would I?
That's for you to decide, my
Oops.
friend.
No, don't. I'm keeping my 4 free ones and getting rid of my 4 full ones. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Now we do resources, starting with you.
Alright, well, we're definitely buying 3 garbage.
Okay. It's $3. $3.
$3.
$3.
Okay. And we buy some toxic waste. So that's
Great.
going to be 2, let's see, which is 5.
I was thinking of painting the uranium pieces silver, because that's the color of real uranium.
Yes.
I'm glad I opted not to, though. Everything's color resistant.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy another set of garbages.
Okay.
So that's gonna cost me 6.
God, it's like heavy storm preparation. I'm gonna buy all this garbage in case I need it during a power outage.
Yeah, exactly.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Buying my
You're not
bare bones.
You're not using uranium because it's not gonna get any cheaper.
I'm buying my bare bones for $21. Let's start with that.
Okay.
It's tough. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Alright, let's get cities.
You first this time, right?
No, it's you. It's reverse player order.
Sweet. Okay. I think we buy lots too. I can buy 4 more cities. Depending on the budget here. Well, we'll plan on that because that's 18. So that's like kind of the cheapest one. Okay. Yeah, this is successful. I can take that. Do we get any points for money at the end of the game?
Money's the tiebreaker.
Okay. I just don't know if I need to be like worried about that at all yet.
Worry about it as a tiebreaker.
Well, hoppers. Which is gonna cost me 21.
Yeah, I think.
So 6. Yeah.
You destroyed Soul.
Oops. Okay, so did I count them right? 7. find one more. 20 for a soccer. How about that?
How about that?
How about it? Alright. I'm done.
Done.
I'm done now. Well, if I bought one more. That would have a game.
It would be the last round. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm done.
Alright, well, I need to get some cities. Let's sit on this too long. 18 to Chicago. This is 18.
Oh. Thanks.
18 to Chicago. 18 to Salad. So I can take, what is it, 32 back?
Yeah.
Dallas, Salad.
I'm gonna keep those $2 as tax for making that joke.
Crackheads and debutantes.
Where are they supposed to live?
Salad.
No.
20 for Mexico City.
Okay. Oh no! We're catching up.
Oh, I'm already beyond. So, alright. So,
Yeah, you're just buying cities now. Fun of that. Excuse me.
20 for LA.
Okay. Okay.
16 for Frisco.
Okay. 16. So it's...
That's literally it. I can't buy anything else.
I suppose you can?
No.
Alright.
It's all cities.
Alright.
Okay, phase 5. Last one.
Phase 5. Phase 6.
Oh,
I see.
yeah, they call that steps, and they call turns of the game phases. I think it would have been better the other way around.
Alright, so power cities.
Power your cities.
Join. And get paid.
Well, we don't need to pay us. This is the very last round. Whoever powered the most wins.
Oh, that's it?
And I powered all 21.
Oh.
So that's 5 plus 7 plus
Oh,
9.
I thought we had another round after this.
No.
Oh.
Final round of the game. Whoever powers the most wins.
I thought...
I got them all. Got them all.
Top final round, then. We got one more round.
No, this
5
was the
cities.
final round.
I don't understand that. I didn't have enough money to buy a soccer. And also, I wouldn't have powered it.
Wouldn't have mattered, yeah. I could power the absolute maximum number of cities that I have, and even if you got to your 21, even if you were able to power 21, I've been hoarding money for so long that I don't think you would have been able to catch up. I think I would have won on tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But that is Power Grid.
Well,
We
that was
have
anticlimactic.
we have powered the northern. Well, I was holding back. I knew I was got it. I knew I could scoop them all. Like I was being dramatic, buying out each city.
You suck.
I thought you saw that was happening.
I saw that you had a lot of money.
Well,
I didn't know
Not
you
supposed
could
to know
power them all already.
hell yeah, I can.
Well, I saw you weaving around your green weenies there.
Green weenie.
The $50 bills. Finally.
Didn't you name one of your Minecraft tools Green Weenie?
I think so. And then you like made me think it was a bad thing to say or something.
No, it wasn't.
It was. You were
Well,
like, no, you thought it wasn't a thing. And I'm like, it's totally a thing.
Oh, that's right. I was just like, well, you just called it a green weenie because it's funny sounding, and you said, no, it's an actual thing. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like a rotted hot dog? Remind me.
No, I don't remember, but it was a thing. It was some piece of media, I think.
Is an envious Dacian.
Yeah, very really stretching me.
Right.
Wow, these houses are not the same size at all.
No, because I ordered additional ones.
Additional colors.
Gray is not an official color, so I ordered gray. But
Okay.
alongside that, I ordered some extra pieces for every color. Because I wanted to have 21 for all possible cities,
Mm-hmm.
and one for this track, and one for this track, and then a few extras.
I see. Well, that was fun.
That was Power Grid, everybody.
Really?
So that's the game. You now know how to play. We could always play it again at some point. The rules do not really change substantially based on which map we use, although they do change a little bit, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
An example is that Germany and the United States are the default maps, so they don't have this regionally based resource track. It's just it doesn't matter which regions you pick; it's going to be the same amount of resources on each step. Will be predetermined. Contrast that with China's map has a different power plant set up, and it's always in increasing order.
Yeah.
Korea has both north and south playing at the same time, and on a given turn you can only buy resources from either the north or the south.
Interesting.
And north doesn't do uranium, so if you need uranium you have to buy from the north, and so forth. So it's like having two miniature tracks, which is kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And I think Central Europe has various rules about not being able to buy nuclear if you own certain cities or blah blah blah. Anyway, that's Power Grid.
Cool.
I hope you enjoyed watching this nightmare of a low quality stream, but this was kind of an experimental thing to see what this would be like. And in a few hours, we're going to count down to the New Year here on the east coast of the United States. I'm sure some of you watching are, well, anybody pretty much out here has already experienced New Year. So Happy New Year to you. We, of course, are here. So as of right now, it is 6:30. We've got some time until
5.5 hours to go.
5.5 hours. So that's about a quarter of the board. So essentially, everybody here and beyond has experienced New Year already, and you're already ringing in 2019 and getting drunk off your butts, and don't care about us. Yeah, a nice midwinter or summer nap.
It's about dinner time for us.
It is nearly dinner time for us and for the cat. Hi there, buddy.
He wants it to be dinner time now.
Isn't that right?
And always.
Isn't that right, little monster?
Alright. Well,
yeah. Yeah, so, see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in, and have a swell New Year, honestly. Later.
Bye.